Hey, thanks for coming back for part 2. Really excited about this video. If you haven't seen part 1, action figures and mental health, go back. It's the video right before this. Check it out and then come watch this one. And for anybody that has never visited Joe's Multiverse before, I welcome you. We do toy hunts, we do toy reviews, we talk about toys, we do lives here. It's part of the FLC. If you've never been here before and you are a figure lover, if you have love for the action figures, then you're part of the FLC. So welcome. But I really want to get into this. I get a little deeper into kind of what I'm dealing with and some other things. Try to make it all the way to the end because I really feel that there's some real beneficial stuff in here. I'm so excited about it. I worked real hard to get this off the ground, and it takes a certain kind of energy and state of mind to talk about mental health kind of stuff and just to make a video in general. So I'm real excited about this one. So thanks so much for checking this out. Here we go. Like I said, I'm filming this at a few different times in some different places. Speaking of times, like right now it's in the evening. For me, it is almost 7:30. Sometimes anxiety and depression and overwhelming feelings and all these kinds of things, a lot of times they hit at night for some people. Some people feel it or suffer from it right away in the morning. I know for myself, with bad anxiety, it came on sometime in the day, during the day, and then lasted the rest of the day. And it's torturous. It's for me, I can only describe it as if somebody took like a depressing feeling, a sadness, a fear, being scared, and was able to put it in a syringe and shoot it in my vein and felt that coursing through my body at the same time having this pressure. Some people might explain it as the walls coming in on them, maybe. I don't know if they're talking about the same thing that I'm feeling, but it's a very strong pressure, and it's wildly uncomfortable. That's when it's really bad. Then there's the simple anxieties. But nevertheless, no matter what you suffer from, if it's one or two, a combination of a lot of different things, you're not alone. And I've said that a lot, and it's true. We are not alone. You are not alone. Even though I am alone right now, I'm not alone in this struggle, because there's people that are watching this right now that suffer from this stuff. You might even be suffering from it right this minute. And if you are, you're not alone. It passes. It'll be okay. Reach out to people. Even if you don't want to tell them, you don't have to tell them that you're feeling bad. If you could just call somebody and be able to talk to somebody, call your mom or your dad or somebody in your family, or anybody that you can talk to. Maybe it's just talking to somebody about whatever might make you feel better. Even if you're only in a 10-minute conversation and you don't feel better after, they don't take your mind off it while you're talking about it. I mean, there's so many different things that you can do, and it seems like when you're going through it, it seems like you can't. And it's so wildly frustrating. But reach out to people, get some help. You're not alone.
And anything can set it off, really. I mean, as far as me, really at this point, with everything that I'm dealing with, anything can set it off, but, I'm under a lot of stress. I was just pulling up here, back up to my mom's, coming through the neighborhood, and I see this young kid. He could have been 16, he could have been 19, 20, who knows. young kid, looks like he's walking with a purpose. Looked like he just came from home. Had a bag over his shoulder. It looked like one of those old school Marlboro bags back in the day when Marlboro cigarettes, you could collect the points and then order stuff out of the magazine. You get this old red Marlboro backpack. Anyway, he's walking. He looked kind of like he was pissed off. He's walking with a purpose, bag full of stuff over his shoulder. Then there's this young girl, really short, on a skateboard, not too far from him. Now, they might not have even known each other whatsoever, but what it made me think was, what's the story there? And I didn't even ask the question, what's the story? I automatically just started to formulate this backstory of what just happened in the last 15 minutes. And I'm thinking, this kid, he's at home, he's arguing with his parents for some whatever reason. I'm out of here, I'm going to run away, or I'm going to take off for the rest of the night, or I'm leaving, leaves in a huff, packs his bag, throws it over his shoulder, storms out. He's not driving, he's walking down the street, so he's without wheels, so who knows what's going on there, but that, not in good shape if you don't have some wheels, but he's cruising, he's walking with a purpose, and this little girl on a skateboard, and I'm thinking maybe that's his little sister, and she's not really trying to keep up with him, but maybe there was a big scuffle at home. The guy leaves quickly, and then the little girl, the little sister, is on her skateboard and just kind of following them along just for a little while, kind of processing maybe what the big argument was, or something like that. Who knows? It just made me think, we all have our own problems. We all go through our own stuff, and you just never know with people. And I don't know. It just made me think, and things like that. I mean, that particular story that I just made up in my head, how your thoughts race. I mean, that all kind of came to me within about 5 seconds of, the speed of thought. Maybe that's not what their story was, but I bet a story like that is happening many times right now, and all kinds of things. People being abused, people having domestic disturbances, people all kinds of stuff. We all know people that have been through stuff. We know that what we've been through, but everybody is going through something. Everybody has some sort of crisis, or is just getting out the other end of it, or is just beginning one. You just never know what it is, but believe this, everybody's going through something. Everybody has issues. And I guess if I had a point, and I know I've said this many times already, but you're not alone. Well, I am just going through my morning routine, but you know what? It's kind of dark in here, and I'm kind of sick of feeling dark. The last couple months have been kind of rough. Well, not kind of. It's been terrible. It's really been terrible. I haven't gone through something this challenging, this emotional, this trying. I haven't found myself so unhappy going through such a crisis, and all those feelings that you have when you're away from your family, and fear of the unknown, and things are up in the air, and you're just waiting for things to come down, and you're hoping that it all kind of falls into place. That's a pretty good analogy. Yeah, good for me. But when going through that, it's really difficult, and I've been going through that, those feelings I've been having, and every day is something different. In the first month, all of September was just super hard. Everything from going and moving out of my apartment that I'd made a home that I'd watched my kids grow up in over the last 5 years, and having to come up here to Minnesota and wait until we could get into our apartment, and there was a bunch of things that had to be done, and they had to be done in order, and each step took a long time, and there was a couple
back steps and then hurry up and try to make up for that. And this was all supposed to only be like 4 or 5, maybe 6, 7 weeks, maybe tops, and this would be all over. And I've been here just about the whole month of September, because I got here like on the 6th, the whole month of October, and now we're here in November. So we're going on the 3rd month of like me being away from Sioux Falls. And even though it's super nice spending a lot of time with my mom and being up here with family and being able to spend oodles of time in the town that I grew up in, it's just, I don't want to say it's not where I belong, because I think we all end up at times where we belong. I think I needed to go through this. But that hindsight of, yeah, I'm glad that I went through it. I needed to go through it. Certain things kind of came out of it that could have only came out of it if I went through it, even though that it sucked. That's great to look at it in hindsight, and it's easy to say, and it's easier to look at, but going through it has just sucked. I mean, I started to say I haven't gone through anything like this since the few months leading up to going to treatment back in 2015, when I went to treatment for drinking to get over that hellish chronic problem that I had. And I haven't had a drink in 6.5 years, so that's good. But I haven't gone through something so hard since that 4-month bender when I lost everything and lost my kids and lost the girlfriend and lost my life. And those 4 months that I was just in hell before I got checked into treatment, and then was in treatment for a solid year. But those 4 months, I haven't gone through anything that bad until now, and it's a little shocking. It might be a little shocking to hear, like, you've been going through that tough of a time, but yeah, it is. And I'm sure most of you can relate, because I bet you anything that there's a lot of people out there that are going through stuff that is so terrible that they would think if any of my lesser friends or family went through this, it would probably kill them. A lot of people would crawl into a ball and cry in the corner and not be able to get up. But I'm going through this, and it's terrible, but it's, and nobody around you knows, or most people don't even know. And you keep a smile on your face, and you go to work, and you get through your day, and it's hard for you to talk about it, and you just don't have time, and people won't understand, and nobody else has gone through this. Nobody knows what it's like to be me, and all these feelings that we have. And to go through something like this and nobody even knows. I mean, that's what friends are for. That's what family's for. I would talk to people about whatever you're going through, because anybody can understand, because everybody has gone through bad times. Everybody has had a crisis. I'm just tired of feeling this way. I got to get out of this dark room. Let's go outside. Yeah, we'll go take a look outside and see what we're dealing with here weather-wise. It's kind of been cold. It was nice when I stepped out here earlier. Yeah, it's nice out. See, that's better. That's way better. It's way nicer out here. But that's what you got to do sometimes, for your mental health. You got to get out of certain situations, and getting yourself out of bed, a dark room, a place that you've been, kind of isolating in for a while because of depression or whatever might be the issue. Sometimes you just gotta get out of there. You gotta get in the shower. You gotta just go outside. Just step outside. Walk to the end of the driveway. Walk out to the woods. Walk back. Just step outside and take a few deep breaths. Go back inside. Something. Try little steps. I know it's hard for some people, but there's a big difference between surrounding yourself with a dark room with curtain closed or a blanket over, no light can get in, it's all dark. Maybe you're watching stuff on YouTube or on your phone or watching Netflix or whatever you're doing when you're laying around. That's kind of the stuff that I do. But you gotta get out of that. You gotta get out of that, because that's kind of it feels good for a while, but after a while, it's almost self-sabotaging, because you're never gonna get better if you just stay there. This usually I use my phone when I'm walking around, but I actually have my good camera on this little mini Gorilla Pod thing. Kind of makes me feel like one of those vloggers, like Casey Neistat or something. When he's in New York on his skateboard. They moved to California, but he used to do that. He used to hold the camera out like that. If you don't know who that is, Casey Neistat, look him up. Look at a couple of his videos. If all you do is watch toy videos, toy hunts, toy reviews, and that's kind of your YouTube experience, branch out a little bit, and this will help your mental health too. Watch some other videos, watch some vloggers, just check it out. If it's not your thing after a couple of minutes, then it's not your thing. Check out some ASMR. Just type in ASMR, and for some people, they'll watch it and go, "What is this? This is just dumb. This isn't for me." And other people will fall in love and watch video after video and get the tingles. And if you can get into it, it's a really good tool for relaxing. And there's oodles. I've been using that word a lot today. Oodles of videos and content creators out there making ASMR videos. There's women, there's men, there's younger people, there's really professional videos on it, and then there's some that you can tell they're probably in their closet doing it. But if it's something that kind of clicks with you, it could be a game changer. There's other stuff. There's a lot of videos out there on mental health, about depression, about bipolar, about schizophrenia, about anxiety, about a lot of stuff on depression. But there's a lot of videos, a lot of motivational videos. Branch out. If you're not using that tool that we call YouTube to your benefit, if it's just for entertainment, you're really cheating yourself, because you can find a lot of videos out there that can be beneficial. I listen to like relaxing music when I sleep. I have for years. I'm just constantly trying to inundate myself with positivity and having that calming music playing while I'm sleeping. I feel good. I like listening to that when I go to sleep. If you're watching motivational videos in the morning while you're getting ready, if you watch videos on depression and ways to deal with that. I don't know if the wind is affecting this microphone, but we can start heading this way. But there's a lot of stuff out there that can be beneficial, and if you find positivity that you can consume content, especially on YouTube, since there's so much of it, and you do it consistently, and you find the stuff that works and the stuff that you feel like is helping and making you feel better, and you're doing that consistently every day, I promise you'll see a change. You get out what you put in. And if you're just sitting in a dark room and you're not doing anything, it's impossible to get better. We have to at least try. Talk to people. Try to consume as much positive and beneficial content as you can. And just know that you're not alone.